the sky. Come on closer, baby, let the lights go out. Yeah, we fall and then we rise. No more alibis, I wanna hide now. Yeah, falling to the fire. Baby, we could ride the night, yeah. I'ma show you, or we could shine the light, yeah. Lift your hands, free your mind and mind combine and float up to the higher. It's okay, it's okay. Close your eyes, baby, let me show you your love, your love. Come on, baby, let me get you close to your love, your love. Your love, your love. Your love, your love. Walk a straight line, how many fingers? An ecstasy, fragrance lingers. Yeah, and those endless conversations, and you feel it floating now. I finally got you, and I'm following you into the fire. Maybe we could ride the night, yeah. I'ma show you, or we could shine the light, yeah. Lift your hands, free your mind and mind combine and float up to the higher. It's okay, it's okay. Close your eyes, baby, let me show you your love, your love. Come on, baby, let me get you close to your love, your love. Your love, your love. Your love, your love. Hold me up, cause you never wanna drop me, not me. Got the key, dancing to unlock me. Side to side, no, their fingers don't faze me. Crazy to say, but nothing's gonna stop me. If I forget you, I ain't playing with you. I ain't playing with you. You should say what you say. Oh, come on, get it on. Come on, get it on. Close your eyes, baby, let me show you your love, your love. Come on, baby, let me get you close to your love, your love. Close your eyes, baby, let me show you your love, your love. Come on, baby, let me get you close to your love, your love. Show you, let me show you your love, your love.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Show. This portion of the show is brought to you by Comcast, contracted to bring you your Monday Night Football on ESPN. Tune in to watch the first game September 11th, your Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets, live from the Meadowlands. Give us a call today at 866-224-5422 and let us prepare your commercial on ESPN Monday Night's Football. Again, 866-224-5422. Now here's Dawn and Freddie S.
I gotta tell you, that's pretty
That was
good.
pretty good. That was pretty impressive.
We threw her right into the lion's den.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
We heard a trip, and you said, "What's that noise?" I go, "That's Trippy tripping."
Trippy, tripping. Trippy,
Was that
nice
right?
job.
Yes, yeah.
And Trippy is, hold up your mic, because Trippy's on UMC.
Whoop, whoop.
We're going to be taking her everywhere from now on. You're going to be opening this stuff up where you're in studio, on the road, and everything else.
All I need is to know how to DJ.
Josh, a teacher. He got the
You're looking very tall today.
I'm very tall. You know why? Because I'm excited. Why
You're
am I
very-
so dark?
I think we need a little more. We got to lighten up the exposure here.
Where's Shorty?
Shorty's on the floor.
Shorty, where are you?
And we're going to put Trippy on the camera. She has no idea how to lighten
Shorty,
the
where
exposure.
are you? Get me a little light. Get me a little lit up over here. Because I feel like I've
We're
been...
a little dark. I should stop sitting outside,
No, on the
maybe.
camera. Give a little more, what do they call that?
Exposure.
Exposure. I got to tell you, I'm really excited. Because that piece...
Better, thank you.
That piece that Trippy talked about is true. We are contracted by Comcast. I was just on the phone with them. They are taking reservations for Monday Night Football on ESPN. It is the Buffalo Bills, the champions of the Eastern Division last year, against my New York Jets on Monday Night Football, September 11th,
Can you believe it?
from the Meadowlands. And if that doesn't raise your curiosity, everybody knows what happened September 11th, right? It's going to be the biggest party you ever heard. And your commercial, your company can be on there. Don't miss out. And we ain't doing no add-ons. We're selling it to you guys exactly the way it is. If you don't have a commercial, we'll put one together. But we need to do it now because we got to have the orders in by September 1st.
I know. We've got, what, 3 weeks to put this all together. But
3
what
weeks.
an opportunity. I have to thank Comcast for giving us this opportunity because you don't even have to buy the entire season package. You can buy a game or you can buy the season and you get to pick where you want it to air, whether Boca, Delray, West Palm, Miramar, Miami-Dade. You pick the zone or zones where you want your commercial to air and we get to place it there.
We go all the way up north to Fort Pierce and all the way down south to the Keys. Everything in between there, Comcast covers. And that's Comcast, UVerse, Hotwire, which I'm going to get. And you just name the region, we'll hook you up, we'll get it done because we just want everybody to watch that game.
So just when summer's here, summer's gone, and we've got new opportunities for the fall.
And you heard that Miami Dolphins are playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to tell you something. Those seats are selling fast. We can still squeeze in there, but those are going fast. So if you want your commercial on those particular games, let us know, and we'll hook you right. I'm excited about
You know what I don't understand, though? You don't remember anybody's name,
No.
but you remember every football game and who's playing who, when, and where the game is. So that, to me, is either you don't pay attention to people's names or you choose not to pay attention because it's clearly not a memory thing.
What does a name have to do with the city of Buffalo, city of New York? What is
Because
it?
you can remember all those names.
Yeah, Johnny Unitas. I can remember episodes in my life.
So, but you even know the game schedule going forward, but
Absolutely.
you don't know Trippy's name.
I do know her name is Trippy.
As she trips.
What's wrong with that? Trippy, Trippy, Trippy.
I don't know. They're rewinding what they're running wires all over the place.
We're
here.
trying
I don't know what
something
they're
new.
doing.
It's
Okay.
too short. I know. We need a longer wire.
So happy Monday to you. Welcome back.
But the object of the game here is get your groove on because, you know, why do you watch the Super Bowl? And be honest.
See J-Lo.
To see what? What do you
J-Lo.
watch? Do you watch the game? The game is part of it, but what do you really tune in for?
Exactly.
There's the man with the plan right there. The commercials. You know why? Because one commercial in the Super Bowl can make you millions. This is going to be a lead into him. One commercial, one right idea, one great idea, and you put it among the masses. And all of a sudden, I mean, you guys know GoDaddy, right? You know, GoDaddy started in the Super Bowl. What was the name of the race car driver that started GoDaddy? GoDaddy. Or was it? You know who she is? She's a hottie race car driver, the only female race car driver who had won on the circuit at the time, and she put on
What's
a
her
leather
name?
jacket. Kirkpatrick.
Oh, and he remembers her name too. Are we noticing a theme?
No,
here?
I didn't remember her name. He told me her name. But
Yeah,
that
he's right.
GoDaddy commercial was the numero uno commercial because they had several spots, and she was in that dun dun dun, dun, And she was in the sexy jacket.
There were a lot of Danica Patrick screensavers.
It was numero uno, but GoDaddy was a somebody after the Super Bowl. There was another thing that happened in that Super Bowl where you used to order something online. You remember that one? You went online and you ordered stuff. It was like real cheap. And it was so many orders that came in, the whole circuitry exploded. And
And then they had the Super Bowl one with the QR code where you had to actually scan it and then you could do everything from there. But we have the opportunity now to place, even in the, no, we don't have the Super Bowl, we've got the Rose Bowl and we've got another bowl game that we can place.
you got the Rose Bowl, you got the national championship game.
Right.
If you want those as well. We have all those packs, every college game in the world. I got to talk to him because he sprung all of this good stuff too quick.
Last week, I know.
It's like too short. How am I supposed to sell the national championship game, which is watched by everybody?
Yeah.
That's another one you may want to.
Except Sally.
Except Sally.
Sally, you don't watch football?
No.
No?
Well, I mean, I do because he has it on, so I watch it, but
All women tell me
Doesn't
the
she
same
look
thing.
beautiful?
Why? Because she don't watch
Sally?
football?
oh, that's
She must age backwards. I don't know how you don't
you.
age. You and
I
Russ.
can tell you the secret.
You and Russell have this secret, I know.
She's holding on to the secret. It's what she drinks.
Exactly.
Dawn, I'm glad you told her that because she doesn't believe me when I tell her as we're leaving the house.
Oh my gosh, you're just like glowing and you look younger and younger every time.
And that would be Josh. I guess he found a cable that reaches.
I know. Our crew, they thought you were about 65.
I got the biggest compliment the other day. You said you showed my
Yeah.
picture. This was ridiculous. They thought,
I said, this is my brand new wife. She said, oh, you married a 30-year-old?
See that? Would you do life all over again? Would you change it?
no, because I am who I am because of everything that happened. I've thought very, very much about that, but I don't think, well, maybe a few things, but basically it's gone the way
I gotta tell you, when I was married to Michelle, I came down to Florida because I was buying real estate properties, and the owner of the property says, "Oh, you brought your daughter." And I said to him, "No, I didn't, but you know what? That's the end of the deal." And I walked away.
He was
Well,
just
they
being
keep
nice
telling
to
Steve
her.
he's married a younger woman.
No, he wasn't being that nice. He was just being not nice to me.
Exactly.
So I said, "That's the end of the deal, son. I gotta go."
So if you could do your life over from 30 on, you wouldn't change it?
Well, yes, I would, but I wouldn't change the whole theme of how it went. Certain things, obviously, I'd like to take out,
Yeah.
but it made me who I am, you know. I
That's
think
true.
everybody, not just me, I think it's everybody. We're
I
just
would
not
never
aware.
change a thing. I would do the same mistakes I did over again.
Yeah.
I would do it even bigger.
But
Would
the thing
you?
is, it's good to know what you're doing. If you know that what is going to be the outcome, that makes it a lot easier, but we don't know that.
Yeah, my mistakes brought me to where I am today. So.
Your
Have I-
mistakes made you the perfect person you are now.
Thank you, Freddie.
We'll chat afterwards.
You apparently should have messages for you. Holy cow, Freddie.
I don't mean
Hold
that.
it there.
We're coming
All right.
up on 8 months, and she's already.
My condolences, but you know, I'm a rabbi and a priest at the same time. What do you call it? Got it? I got it. Okay. We're going to see how that works. But I want to start over there because we were just talking about commercials and opportunities. You know, the best opportunities happen when you least expect them. I call that they don't see you coming. That's a true fact because most of the great ideas, like what was his name that did the computer in his garage?
Steve Jobs?
That guy. No, it wasn't Jobs. It was Gates. Gates.
Gates.
He did the computer with his buddy in the garage, and they dropped out of school and everything else to do that, right? And what?
Wozniak in the garage.
Okay, so Gates was in the garage where he created. What the hell did he create? He created the computer.
The iPhone.
No, that was Steve
No,
Jobs.
no.
Steve Jobs.
One was Apple and one was Microsoft.
Yeah.
Microsoft. When he created Microsoft, he was in the garage.
That's all we had was a garage.
You know, I was in the garage too, but I couldn't find my way out. But other than that, but anyway, the bottom line here is, they don't see you coming, and a great idea comes, and the more you hear about this great idea, the bigger it grows. Because some of the people in our community that are involved with this gentleman are already into this thing. So we're going to introduce our new sponsor on the show.
It's funny because a couple weeks ago, Gary was in, Gary Menko of Transact Card, and we were talking about this. And about 3 days later, somebody else comes in and says, "Let me tell you about the business I started."
Yeah.
And Freddie says, "No, you didn't." He says, "Oh, yes, I did. I founded this." And then he goes through this whole thing. We said, "Well, let me tell you who was just here." We haven't seen him again.
Never again. Never
And
again.
that's when he called you, and we're like, all right. And he takes out his green card, and he says, "Look what I've got. I'm the only one who has this."
It's like they told me the grand opening at the place we were. Yes.
Exactly, that green card.
And he didn't have that. So he created it, but he don't got it. I said, well, let me see your card. He says, no, I didn't bring it with me. Uh-huh.
But this is double your buying power. It's a whole new way to shop, which for me, it's always a win-win, a whole new way to shop.
And you got to join this. Are we taking people to join now?
Yes, people can join now, even though the official launch won't be for 3 months yet.
But if I was looking at the video you sent, if you pre-do this before November, you don't have an annual fee.
That's correct. There's a big advantage of joining before the official launch. You'll pay one time for this card, $25, no renewal fee. And every time you swipe, you're going to get your Z-Buck points, which you can use to shop on the site.
Give us the premise behind this. This is like a loadable debit card, right? Or you link it to their bank.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It is a debit card. The premise is this is like everything else in life. There's always an evolution of things, and banking is evolving too. We call this FinMo banking, financial momentum banking. The difference is today we all have debit cards. I have 3 debit cards, and we swipe our card, whether it's with Wells Fargo or Chase or TD, any of the big banks. We get the product, obviously, but that's it. And the banks make big money with the transaction fees. What we've done here, founders of Transact Card, have teamed up with community and minority banks. And in doing so, because they're falling by the wayside, they can't compete with big boys. So we're helping them to compete by bringing them customers. In return, they are giving back the Transact Card. So basically, what happens is when you sign up for a card, you pay your $25, you're connected with a community minority bank. You get a checking account and this Visa FDIC insured debit card. And you can swipe anywhere in the world, just like any other debit card, Visa, MasterCard, and you get rewarded every time you swipe. You get a Z-Buck for every dollar you swipe. And then once the Z Club shopping site opens up, which will be very similar to an Amazon, you'll be able to buy down the cost of products with the Z-Bucks you earn. So basically, it's going to save a lot of money.
Well, if I get a Z-Buck card, I pay you $25. I get a Z-Buck card.
Right.
Then I have to put money in this bank, so I'm using it as a debit card. So you can,
Exactly.
whatever money you want to put in, and I go shopping. I go to the grocery store, I buy clothes, whatever it is, I buy what I'm going to buy. But then dollar for dollar, I get a Z-Buck.
Correct.
And then I can go into the Z-Buck store and I can shop again.
Exactly.
2 for 1.
Well, let me ask you a question. My son and I were talking about your card. Is it a third-party debit card, or is it directly tied into my bank account?
It's once you order the card, you get this card shipped to you, just like what I showed you, and then you fund it to the bank you're connected with. It's not going to be with your existing bank account. Remember, these are community and minority banks.
It's a separate
Yes.
bank.
But I'm going to tell you why that is brilliant. I was going to change to, it's called a third-party card, to this system. So that you ever go to the gas station and all of a sudden they lock up your debit card because somebody hacked you? Ever happened to you? Ever? Happens to me every month.
Well, you're not supposed to use debit cards at the gas station.
Okay. It happens to me every month. I never heard of it.
Because you're not supposed to use debit cards at the gas station, but go ahead.
You go to Amazon, you go to another thing, and they hack you and they freeze it. It don't matter where you use it. The bottom line is you get hacked and you got to order a new one. You got to wait 10 days and the whole 9, and then you have to change everything that has your debit
Yes.
card again. Okay. So my son says that. Get a third-party debit card, which is exactly what he has. so that if this thing gets hacked, they pick it up, but it does not interfere with what you do with your normal bank card. It just interferes with this one, and you just got to get a new one, and you start again on that side. So there's a benefit to what he does, which I wanted to do about 6 months ago because I got hacked again. Thank God Bank of America froze the account, but I can't use it. So this is another part of why this thing, we should get it. And now that's one thing. There's another part. Joining up is one thing. What is it, DBO?
Yeah, there's also an optional income opportunity associated with this. And for those who want looking for an opportunity, this is fantastic because you can become what's called a digital branch office. And by the time of the official launch in November, these digital branch offices will be legally licensed franchises. And the benefit of becoming a DBO, digital branch office, is anybody who falls into your community, you're going to make money every time they swipe the card, basis points.
Now, is a DBO in territory, or are we going to be the DBO in the same territory?
Anywhere in the country. Right now, this is going to open up to the United States officially November 13th and 14th. It's then going to transition to Canada, South America, and eventually the world. Right now, it's strictly in the U.S., but you can bring on anybody in the country under your wing. So if you're here in Florida and you have a friend in Oregon and he signs up under you and gets the card, he's in your community.
That's pretty cool. You see, DBO is one thing, joining is another. Two different options.
Shopping is another.
I mean,
Shopping goes with both.
The DBO, the business income opportunity isn't for everybody, but the card is for everybody. It's like we were talking about, it's a no-brainer. Why would you not swipe this? Why would you get nothing to swipe your other cards when you can get the advantages of these Z-Bucks, which you can use them online and buy down the close to your products?
And what banks is it affiliated with in our community?
Well, I'm affiliated with one. It's actually in Arkansas. It's called, I forget which one it is. I think I'm with Evolve Bank. I think it's based out of Arkansas. So it's not necessarily going to be in a bank. It's in your hometown. It could be anywhere. They're making connections with a lot of banks. Peter Rancy, who's the co-founder, who's been in banking for probably about 40 years, was the founder of the U.S. Banking Association, is talking to community banks all the time, and quite frankly, they're grateful to him because these community banks can't survive against the big banks anymore. So by bringing these new customers to these banks, it's going to bring them revenue, and then they can eventually offer to their customers mortgages, credit cards, and full banking services.
And are they FDI insured as well as regular
100%,
banks?
$250,000 FDIC insured.
250?
Yeah.
Which is the same as Bank of America and everybody else. But the funny thing is that the bigger banks are the ones that are going down because they hedged wrong and they bought wrong on the banknotes, right? The interest rates. And as soon as they went up, they were short monies. I'd rather deal with a smaller bank. You know, Florida is the #1 state that deals with banks. There's more banks in Florida than anywhere in the United States. And I'm talking about independents. I'm not talking about Bank of America and those bigger banks. I'm talking about the smaller banks. Now, you don't even have to put money on the card unless you're going to use it, which would be foolish because every time you use the card, you get these Z points that allows you to buy stuff, right? So you can get a $100 pair of sneakers for nothing.
Right.
You can go on cruises for nothing.
Right. Well, it's not nothing. Let me explain. You buy down the cost of the product, basically roughly 50%. So again, those pair of sneakers you see at the mall for $100, you'll see them on the Z Club for $100, and you'll use about 50 Z-Bucks to buy down the price. The other 50 you pay, in cash with money.
Well, if I buy a microphone for $100, how many Z-Bucks do I get?
$100, 100 Z-Bucks.
And a pair of sneakers that I want in there, $100. Can I use the 100 to the sneakers? Or can I use 50?
Use 50 of the Z-Bucks to buy down the other product, correct? Yeah.
So you're
And
still
it-
getting
and
it for
it's
half.
generally going to be between 40 to each one's a little different, 40 to 60%. But they also have, I think I was telling you about this earlier, Freddie, they also have what are called flash sales. Flash sales are items which we're going to appear on the Z Club daily, which are going to be in limited quantity, but if you happen to catch a flash sale, you pay with Z-Bucks only, no cash. And come after the official launch, there's going to be free shipping as well.
What about this business opportunity did you really like?
Well, I like it because here in the United States we have 330 million people, most of which are eligible to have a debit card. And this is for everybody. You're not selling something or not exposing somebody something that is to a limited audience. You know, if you're got the latest greatest vitamin or health aid, a lot of people really don't care. Some do, some don't. But saving money and getting a benefit is for everybody because everybody swipes debit cards.
Every day.
Every day. Every day. I mean, I have already, I have 15,000 Z-Bucks in my account. And the advantage of coming in before the launch is that anybody who comes in, gets their card for $25, they'll have no referral, annual fee. That'd be one time $25, plus they're gonna get double Z-Bucks up until November of 2024.
That's pretty good. I got to tell you, we get the thing now from Amazon because apparently we are in the influencer program, but the thing I got was these Amazon, I can resell stuff. So let's say that this bottle is $10 and I want to sell this to Steve for $20. Amazon will allow me to do this. I've never heard of anything like this in my life, but apparently I could do that. What I like about his program is if I want something, I can get it for half the price. It all depends on what's in the store. You just got to keep your eyes open for what's in there. And it's just an advantage of anything else when you're using it to buy stuff. You still got to pay for your cup of coffee or whatever. You can use this little card and it pays you back.
And how are the prices in the store?
The prices, now understand the Z Club, it has not officially launched yet. It's in the process of being built.
Okay.
When it does launch right around the launch date in November, it's going to have millions of items in there, and it's going to keep growing. Not only that, but we also have the flash sales enable you to get things for nothing, just your Z-Bucks. They've already contracted for the second largest Norwegian cruise line in the fleet, going out of Miami for a 7-day Caribbean cruise. I forget, it's either April or July, I forget which month. But the only way you get in that cruise is with Z-Bucks, no cash. And that's going to be something that's going to be recurring. You're going to have that frequently, these kind of trips and vacations and so forth, hotels.
These are your cruise?
You can sweat your way to a cruise for nothing,
This is your cruise people over here.
These are the cruises.
Yeah.
Now I got a question. So my daughter goes to school. Let's say Trippy's my daughter and she's going to go to school, right? And my daughter needs a debit card to buy books or whatever. My daughter or my son decide that they're going to go hang out on Atlantic Avenue. This is a true story, my son. And they lost the debit card.
Happens.
That means I have to freeze my account. Because I gave him my debit card to make sure he had money in his pocket. I had to freeze my account. I'm going back to this third-party thing again. So if that happens, you freeze that account. You don't freeze your banking account. You get your kid the card.
True.
And everything's fantastical.
All true.
Not to mention that your kid probably wants some of the stuff that's in there, like cats, sneakers, and hippie stuff, good stuff.
So are they adding products all the time?
Yes, they're and big brands. I mean, Samsung, I was showing Freddie earlier, all major brands. This is not like stuff coming from China.
Bose.
You're talking about Bose, all the major brands. Plus, there's the things for the everyday family that's struggling to make ends meet. You got a single mom and she needs diapers. I understand that diapers are very expensive. They go for like $50-some a box.
Yep.
XGO.
You'll get them on the Z Club for about half price. You'll pay about 27 Z-Bucks and about $27. So
Continue to add all the time.
yeah, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be.
See, I want to get the card for my son, for Gio, for that.
I'll give you a quote from one of the founders. They said it's gonna be Amazon on steroids.
It is. It is. And the bigger the store gets, the more steroids is going
Yeah,
to
and
be.
they've already contracted with all the major brands, you know, and so they're building it as we speak.
And this is all for $25.
$25.
Today,
As
it's
long
going to change because you have to renew every year
Well, the
come
advantage now
November.
is, yeah, if you get it before the launch, if you get the car before November 12th, it's one-time $25, no renewal fee, and you're going to get double Z bucks up until November of 2024.
And how do you fund the bank?
You can anyway. You can do a debit. You can fund it with another debit card. You could do a wire transfer. You can do ACH. Any way. There's a lot of ways to do it.
So I'm thinking, how do you get money into the bank to use the debit card?
Yeah. You're gonna. You just send the money.
Just send
over.
it in.
You can send.
A Zelle,
But
Cash App,
yeah, you send $20. You send $5,000.
whatever your app will allow you to do. I like it for a lot of different reasons. Again, the kids are one because these kids go out and
I have
Another
an
nice
idea.
thing is if you're a family and you have kids, you can get up to 5 cards per family. So let's say you have one for yourself, one for your wife, and you have 3 kids. You maybe have a son who's 10 years old. You can take his card, just give him like a $10 a day spending limit, or you can set it wherever you'd like to set it.
that's a home run right there.
Yeah.
Interesting. How do people get in touch with you, Gary?
Well, they can go to my website, which is simply gman dot tzt, dot mytzt.com. And that's my website. You'll see videos on there, a lot of information. And they can see my phone number is on there, and they can
What's your
call me
phone
directly.
number if they want to call you?
It's 561-376-1753. 561-376-1753. Again, simply gman.mytzt.com.
And RG Man's making your commercial.
Pardon me?
RG Man in the other room
Yes.
is making your commercial.
It's G-Man Square.
Isn't that funny?
I got to tell you, it is really, really important that you give this man a call. I don't care if you don't buy anything, if you don't get into it, whatever, but give him a call because every day I think more and more about this and more ideas come up. I love the third party card. I love that. I love it in that. I'm thinking maybe I get one for Gio so he can get the baby stuff and I'll be able to help him out and supply half of what's going on through the store and the other half, me and him will split it. Can you imagine getting $53 worth of diapers for $12?
Absolutely.
It's all right.
Get your money back. Perhaps on your first order for $25
Oh, yeah.
right
Well,
now.
first, your first swipe, you go out, you can buy a cup of coffee for $2. They're going to put 500 Z bucks into your account on your first swipe. So you get 500 Z bucks on your first swipe, plus whatever you're spending.
Plus the $2.
Yeah.
Is there a specific demographic you're going after? Because I feel it might be a little difficult to switch people. We're used to getting, all these Sky Miles or points on particular credit cards.
All the tricky, gimmicky stuff, which
Yeah.
is, yeah. This is really for anybody. Anybody who has a debit card, even if you don't have a debit card, a lot of people who have credit cards, me one of them, if you pay it off every month, you might get, a percent or 2 or 3% sometimes, but if you don't, you get slapped with 20-some% interest fees. So this makes a lot of sense.
I got a question about air miles. You use a debit card from American Airlines, let's say.
Credit
You buy
card.
the tickets on that card and they give you miles?
Yeah.
And, okay, so it's a credit. How do you pay back the credit card that you used to get the miles? In other words, I spent $200 on a creded card.
You just pay your credit card bill.
I pay my credit card bills.
So what if I use this to pay my credit card bill? Can I do that?
I've actually put all my auto pays on my card.
You actually paid us with your card.
That's correct.
It just taps like anything else.
No,
I
no,
tap-
but you can still use your air travel card, right? You ordered it. Now you're going to pay that card with this card, and you're going to get some bonuses for paying it with this card with the same money.
I'll have to definitely look into this.
I
It
don't
looks
think you can pay
good.
a credit card with a credit card.
It's a debit card. It's not a credit card, it's a debit card. Watch out now.
So then you go into the store, you just go in and you put in what you want,
Sure.
and it's really a no-brainer.
It is the only true no-brainer I've ever run across.
Really?
What other businesses have you been in before this?
Well, if you remember, well, a lot of health things, including the Kangen water, which I'm still a fan of and still drink today. I've done some other multi-level things before, but the thing I'm really in is crypto and Forex. But my crypto and Forex is not for the masses. It's for a very specific niche. Most people couldn't even relate to it, but this is for everybody.
True.
Now, I got a big question for you. If I'm going to pay a $4,000 bill, because I heard what you were doing before, so I paid this company $4,000. Is there a charge for them to get the $4,000 out, or does it go directly as the $4,000?
Yeah, if you're paying a bill, whoever you're paying that $4,000 to will just get the $4,000. They're not paying anything.
Because there are certain apps that you get money, and for you to get the money, you have to pay an instant charge, or you have to pay a percentage to get the money out.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, matter of fact, when I had my home improvement business, I hated to take credit cards because I had to pay,
Percentage.
I had to pay my
3%, 2%,
3%. I always ask for a check, please, because I don't want to pay.
So does this take a percentage or a straight through?
Actually, from the person getting the money, that's a good question. I have to find that out. But there are transaction fees on every swipe, so it's coming from somewhere.
I want to find that out, because to me it makes a difference what I pay then.
So we can go to Gary's website. We can look it all up. You can give him a call at 561-376-1753. He is gman.mytzt.com. Let's take a commercial break. More to come when we get back. I know where you're going. He's going to go, Dawn. Dawn, I need a card. More to come. We're going to talk to Sally and Steve when we get back. Gary's hanging out and see what else our crew has got. We got Trippy in the house.
We got a surprise for you when we come back.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Amp Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
Les Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties. Open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s.
Let's stick together.
on South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And welcome back to the Brooklyn Cafe Show. This portion of the show is brought to you by Tenuta dai Saraceni, our red, white, and Prosecco fabulous event wines. Catch our next event October 19th with JC Part 2 and have yourself a little bubbly. And back to the show.
Good.
I like the hairy arm.
I want to
in
do
front
that.
of her face.
I want to do that. That's pretty good. That's right. This is the Prosecco doesn't have the name. Can you pronounce this?
No, if I tried, you would tease me.
What?
If I
Get
tried,
that.
you would tease me.
Grab that bottle. Red, white, and Prosecco. And we are proud to announce J.C. Dreesen Part 2, Hollywood to Broadway, is scheduled for October 19th.
Tenuta de Sacrosanct.
What?
Tenuta de Sacrosanct.
Say something in
Tenuta
Spanish.
de Sacrosanct.
Tenuta de Sacrosanct.
Okay. That works too.
That works too. So these wines will be illustrated movies of Del Rey when we have our special events.
And apparently you can private label them as well, is what I've been told.
Yes, we can private label. We can do all sorts of stuff, but it's in negotiations now as we speak. Let me get it out your way. Just another added value of stuff that is going on. We also have some other concerts that are coming up. September 3rd with
Gypsy Nation.
Gypsy Nation, a.k.a.
Who's the first game of the football season?
September 11th, the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets.
And who was the one that made GoDaddy famous?
Kirkpatrick.
Thank you. But bing.
Bing.
What's the
Georgie.
name of the group?
The Gypsy Nation.
Thank you very much. I rest my case. Your Honor.
September 3rd, Gypsy Nation, a.k.a. Gypsy Kings, are going to be down at Gulfstream Park. And he's actually bringing in 3 of the players. They're all going to be there.
Yes.
But shh, you didn't hear that from me.
That's Labor Day weekend.
It's okay. You got to go when you got to go.
That's why I'm wearing my white shoes now.
And we have another event coming out, Pink Floyd's at the FAU Theater. I think it's October...
Josh, you know when that is?
October 7th? October 7th.
You like Pink Floyd?
Do you know that over the weekend, they did a special on the guys that did the covers? You know the covers?
The album covers?
The album covers are, they are worth lots of money, and Pink Floyd was the one that they highlighted the most. Apparently there was a pig that was put over in the UK in between 2 smokestacks. Is that true?
That's the album called Animals.
Yes, Animals. Do you know what happened to that pig?
You got roasted?
No, it's an air balloon. It's a balloon. The thing broke, and it traveled, and it interfered at the airport. They got arrested.
Wow.
They got arrested for doing that whole movie cover picture thingamajig. But the triangle is tremendous in Pink Floyd. Tremendous.
My brother used to listen to Pink Floyd in high school and partake in all those extra activities, I guess, so he could listen to The Wall.
He used to listen to a wall? Your
Well, he
brother
would
needs to listen to a wall?
The Wall,
Does
the
he listen
album.
now?
Probably does.
Hallucinogenics.
Yeah, that.
That's what they were known for.
That
But
was that
my
back in the 80s.
goodness graciousness, unbelievable stuff. So anyway, we're going to be involved with that as well. We'll bring you more information as it goes on, because with the pay-per-view is going to be available, because I think that concert will be sold out. So you're going to have to do it through us on pay-per-view. So we'll
And
see what
tomorrow
happens.
we're heading to a meeting to look at another venue location. So I will keep you filled in on that. I think you got put on the text by mistake, but we'll keep you filled in on that one.
There is no coincidence.
Where are we
So
going?
I can tell you exactly where you're going. You're going to the Savoy Cinema in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, and we have another place that we have to go.
I
Plant-Based Mafia. We
Yeah.
got to go up to West Palm Beach. You know Plant-Based Mafia?
Where?
Plant-Based Mafia.
That's near you, Josh, up in West Palm.
Now, we've known them for almost 6 years, because back in the day, when they first started,
Yep.
we were there for them. Remember that? They shared a place with 2 other companies. One of them was like a big toy store. And we used to take the crew out to play toys and games and all that. So they asked us, as a matter of fact, let's call them today so we can schedule
He
it.
said schedule a day and come on up, so we'll check that out as well.
So more stuff is coming your way.
So while you were out last week for a couple days and Steve was on vacation he was working for a couple days, Sally and me and the crew, we got to start filming some of her movie.
I saw that. I heard about that. I'm still asking. It's
we
funny.
We filled the hard drive, so then it took Zach an hour and a half. We had to transfer the first sitting, and then he redirected things like only Zach and Gio wouldn't know how to do, so we got somewhere else. Now he's transporting it to his own hard drive.
I'm dying to hear what you guys are going to do with this material. I have an idea, but I want to add stuff to it.
I'm leaving it to the professionals, but Sally's story it's just fascinating. The things they did back in the day.
Don't remember everything I said, but maybe I said a little bit too much, but that's okay.
We can take out what, but
No,
they want
that's
to make
okay.
a trailer, so we're able to give all the content
just
to
joking.
Frank. What I want to do is take all that audio, put it in an AI, give it to him as a transcription so he has another way to format a book, was really my whole idea behind it. So now
I want
he's
the
got all
film. I don't want the book. You can do whatever you want with
it's
the
kind of
book.
like, so now we've got the book, at least
We'll
part
have
of
the
it.
book, and we will have the book.
And they're going to be, they're working on getting the book
You
out
got a
of the
book from
computer.
that 5 hours of video?
Well, I have actually a year's worth of work.
Oh, you've got the
We're
work.
going to be
Sally
getting
did
it.
With Lynn, we have access, I believe, now to Lynn's computer.
Ah.
Somebody's working on that.
So we'll have enough information on me.
So somebody's working on that, and Frank's going to, hopefully Frank will follow.
And
put it
Frank
all
will follow
together.
up with that, yes. It'll be good.
So we've been working on a couple things.
I'm a little confused, but okay.
I know you are.
I'm
What's
very
the first game of
confused.
the football season?
Buffalo and the
Good, stick
Giants.
with that. We got the rest of it for you. Don't you fret. We got it.
No, I'm really excited about the movie. I think that the movie could be a home run.
You're confused, Freddie. How do you think I feel?
Oh, no, but you dictated to us
No,
what you did in
I'm
your
just
life.
joking,
It's-
yes. And Frank will then go from there. He'll have a lot of material, right?
We were able to spend all of Tuesday doing this.
Yes, we did. Mhm.
And it was fascinating because Gary came in, I think, also on
Yes,
Tuesday while we were
yes.
downloading, and then he and Sally were
I missed
sharing.
a lot.
And that's when Jay
Yeah.
came in with my picture. It was, there were Dawn was everywhere on,
I missed
on
all of
Tuesday.
it.
You
I
missed
missed
all
all
of
of that.
that. And Gary came in, and they were talking about, I guess, a place in Virginia.
Yes, the Monroe Institute.
That's right. That was incredible. I said, I'm sorry that Steve wasn't here to hear that. That's the place that I want to go
So
to.
we were
And
just
Jack-
talking about Sally's son.
Yes.
You walk in. You
His
both
name
have
is
the
Gary.
same name, and the rest of the afternoon went
What
that
is the
direction.
Monroe Institute?
It's amazing. It's a place where you, as if anybody that's watched my show knows that I've had many out-of-body experiences. Well, Robert Monroe, right, actually started this. This is for real. A lot of people have had this, and he actually opened up the Monroe Institute, which was maybe, you probably know more because you just came back from there.
Well, it's been around, he opened up in 1971, so it's 50 plus years old.
Right.
He started having spontaneous out-of-body experiences in 1958. He's written 3 books, which he passed back in the
Right.
it was late 1990s.
And I actually, because when it first happened to me, the only person that was validating what had happened at that point was my guide Aldo was telling me this happens. And then I go actually out 2 days later, I met someone else who had just come back from there. And then I'm talking that I want to go again, and here you'd just been there. So
I was there in April.
absolutely no coincidences. Yeah.
They have all types of, anything in the paranormal world, the psychic world, they focus on, they investigate, they do lectures, you go there for a week and a getaway, and be an instructor, consciousness, out of body, yes, lot, you name it.
It's a place where, I'm sorry, where I feel totally normal, actually.
It's funny because, you know, the whistleblower that was in Washington, D.C., and he was talking about all of these things that he was witness to. Now they're trying to discredit him by saying that he had some PTSD
What,
issues.
the alien whistleblower?
The whistleblower, yeah. So now, and it's funny because I watched Oppenheimer yesterday. I'm gonna tell you, I'm really devastated by what I saw in that movie about our government. Jeez Louise, man. So now they're trying to discredit the whistleblower by saying that he had PTSD and he used this and he used medication and yada, 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 to try to discredit once again, facts that even NASA can't explain. Right? Think about this. How stupid can you be with this giant cover-up? And if you watch Oppenheimer, the one name that stood out that did not let that guy get approved for the cabinet, what was his name from Massachusetts?
JFK.
That's right. John F. Kennedy.
JFK.
He's the reason why that
Yep.
guy was not allowed into the
They said it
cabinet
was an
because he went.
And he was an unnamed. He was a no name at the time.
And he did it because he didn't like the way that Oppenheimer was treated after he served his country, and yada yada yada. And the funny thing about this, remember when they put Oppenheimer in the clothes, in the military clothes? The reason that the guy did that was to try to protect him, because he knew they were going to throw him under the bus as well. I did tell you, the whole movie I watched with two ladies that were born in 1925, and they were crying because it is such a shame that these cover-ups happen on the truth. It is a shame, and sometimes, you know, you just want to smack people.
So it took you just seeing Oppenheimer yesterday to realize there's an issue with our government?
No, no. It didn't take me Oppenheimer. It just took me that, don't you think, that the man who created the bomb to change the world, don't you think that his soul was horrible? That he felt horrible? There was no compassion. There was nothing. Even the president said, get that crybaby out of here. I mean, those words hurt, man.
Yeah.
Because he finally realized he was, and it was the guy with the white hair. What's his name?
Einstein.
Einstein had told him at the pond, are you sure you want to do this? Because when your country turns your back on you, you're going to feel it. And then after all was forgiven, and they said, oh, welcome back, everything's forgiven, his wife at the time, Kitty, did not shake one of those guys' hands who turned their freaking backs on him. That's what's hurtful. That's what hurts me. It ain't no different than Rambo, when Stallone went and he did Rambo, he came back, and they left him also to die up in Vietnam and everything else. All of these stories.
There's story after story.
And JFK was killed, why?
Yeah.
Because of this? Think about all of this nonsense that's going on. I mean, it's just high-powered money. You saw the trafficking movie. What was the name of that one?
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. How many years did they hold that movie back?
5.
Why?
Politics.
Because people that have the power did not want it to air.
I got to tell you, when that human trafficking story comes out in the U.S. and it hits a little bit closer to home,
It's the only reason they allowed it was because they didn't say it was in the U.S. They had to change it. They had to change it. Otherwise, it would not be allowed in this
because
country.
it would bring it to light. It would really hit home. We've become so desensitized to bad things that we don't think it'll ever happen here. But when that actually comes out about the U.S., the movie a little bit yesterday, Tiger Within, it doesn't talk about human trafficking, but it was this girl who's living in the streets in L.A. and what she has to do to survive before she meets Ed Asner. It's a little bit of a glimpse of the ugly side of living in the streets.
Wasn't it amazing a few years ago when the head of the New England Patriots football team was accused of being involved in illegal activities up in Jupiter?
I remember those illegal activities.
And he denied, and denied. And my God, it went from being headline news to disappearing. Wonder why? Wonder why?
Powers that be.
That's the problem.
Sure.
That's why I tell these youngins, you want to change the world, man, you got to vote. You got to come out in droves. Did you see what happened in Ohio, the abortion thing? And they try to raise the stakes from 50% approval plus 1, the way it is now, to 60%. And people came out in the droves and they stopped that nonsense. You can't, it's like going to play cards in the Hard Rock and you have a loaded deck
Well, like
dealing
KP
from the bottom.
Psych, they started teaching it last week here because people were irate that they were taking it out of the classroom. And they got it overruled that they are going to be teaching it in its entirety in Florida.
I mean, why isn't it we have to be pushed to such extremities? Catcher in the Rye is not allowed to be seen.
But you know what I heard? University of Florida, thousands of professors have resigned because of them pulling the diversity classes out of the school. They've left.
Yeah, so the problem is, and then there's no education going on.
Well, they left not because they're not classes to teach. They left because they can't believe the university they teach at is allowing this to happen.
Well,
They left in protest.
nothing's going to change until there are term limits for every member of Congress and state level, and until there's a law that says there can only be a 5-4 majority in the Supreme Court.
That's right. You know, there's so many changes that we're looking at now that should
Steve,
be
you should run
done.
for president.
Who?
Steve.
You should.
I have too many
No, I think-
skeletons.
It's time to change the subject. Let's talk about UFOs. Steve
Let's
running
talk
for
about
president.
UFOs. That's Steve for president.
I'm just joking.
I don't want-
Steve.
I don't want to get assassinated.
Steve, there's not too many skeletons. I mean, I got a guy who's being indicted for the 4th time. He's probably going to be the next president of the United States.
Crazy.
Indictment makes you popular. Did you see what happened when you went to Iowa? And you see DeSantis was up there too. Did you see what happened to DeSantis?
Did you see that guy rapping? Who is that guy?
Where? Up in Iowa?
In Iowa. He's another candidate, and he's rapping to try to get to their
Oh, a
demographic.
peripheral candidate. Yeah, I saw that.
I saw DeSantis. People says 4 more years for Trump. When in the midst of him saying hi, shh, hi.
The whole thing is crazy.
Did you see in Hawaii? The governor of Hawaii is a doctor.
Hawaii is very sad.
And did you see what he was doing yesterday? He decided not, he's been to the site twice, and he says, there's no reason for me to go there anymore. The devastation is beyond recognition. So he's a regular medical doctor, and he's treating veterans at the veteran hospital that were caught up in this thing because they're short-handed. And that's what the governor of Hawaii is doing. He's not only the governor, he's a doctor, and he's being a doctor. My God, that you want to talk about a president? I want that guy.
Yeah.
How many guys do you know would do that?
Right.
How many guys do you know, or women, that would do that?
So I heard they think that maybe it was some sort of hurricane or tsunami that caused the wildfires.
80-mile-an-hour winds. But the funny thing is that they told Maui that that could happen going back 20 years. You know, when that wind comes in at 80 miles an hour, that fire was 1,000 miles an hour. You know what that
1,000 miles
is?
a minute.
A minute. That means you look, I
Mile
look
a
at
minute.
Josh, it's on me already.
Yeah, they said it was a mile a
I
minute.
look at you, it's past me already.
Yeah.
They couldn't get out. People were throwing themselves into the ocean because it was just too fast.
And they talk about there was no warning, but nobody had any warning to set off sirens. I mean, I don't know how that works, but if everything was being burnt immediately, how did they have time to do anything?
It goes to show you, no matter where you are and any other, you know, when I see these things, I remember of going to Puerto Rico the day after the hurricane that I lost my mom. I have never seen anything like that in my life. It looked like the bomb after the day. There wasn't a bird, there wasn't a tree, it was 107 degrees in the shade. And I was driving, I was lucky enough to have a vehicle driving, looking through the town, Humacao, and there were people sweeping with no roof, no house. They were just so paralyzed.
I can relate. I lost my home to Hurricane Andrew in '92.
Tough, man.
You think of Pompeii, right? And when the volcano erupted, everyone, what they're finding now is remnants, just like this hurricane.
In
We
the
got a
actual
lot to talk
positions
about.
they were, they actually seen the bodies of how they,
Yep.
that second, how whatever they were doing, they're still doing it as they pass.
Now, we talked about this on your show last week.
I don't remember.
It was me and Sally in a bottle of
I don't
cafe
remember.
soda here.
Until you tell me a little, then.
As
We
long
were
as
talking
Sally
about-
remembers me, that's fine.
And you were away, so see, it was just me and Sally hanging here. If we don't learn from our mistakes of the past,
We're gonna
like
repeat them.
Noah's Ark and the
Right.
flood, we are bound to repeat them.
That's what I said, right?
That's pretty much what you said. Because I said to you, I asked you, why Noah and the ark? Why was that coming forward? And you said the message is, we've had signs and we've been told before. And if we don't clean it up, if we don't learn from it, it's going to happen again. And sure enough, here we go, right back again.
It's true. We have to start listening more to one another. And like I said, the most evil product that man has ever created is not the A-bomb. It is man.
It's greed.
It's man.
Greed.
It's man. We are just the worst.
Greed
we,
and money.
We don't learn.
Exactly.
Think about it this way. Can you imagine if the Nazis had discovered the bomb first? we wouldn't even be here anymore. We wouldn't even be here.
But they didn't.
It's not the point. They didn't this time. There's a bunch of crazies out there right now. North Korea. You know, it's funny because somebody argued with me over the weekend saying, you know, you only say that because you think you're always on the right side of goodness. I says, I know the difference between taking a soul and not. And when you create a war and you take lives, man, that's blood on your hands. And he said that in Oppenheimer. He told the President of the United States, I have blood on my hands. And what did he do? He took out a handkerchief. He says, get this crybaby out of here. Really? Truman, you're an idiot. Always have been. Just to tell you.
See, that's when, but I came in that day, we were talking about communism, and everyone has their one idea until you see Oppenheimer, and the theory of communism was different then.
Yeah, but they made it out to be an ugly thing. Not them saying I'm a communist, but anything. It's the same thing with religion. Religion, you can say, I believe in Jesus, or I don't, and all of a sudden it gets twisted. Everything gets twisted. You're black, I'm white, it gets twisted. I like mangoes, you like bananas, it gets twisted. Everything gets twisted. Because, like the gentleman from the New England Patriots will tell you, I wasn't there. That picture, nah, that's not me. Really? And all of a sudden disappears?
Money makes the world go round.
Money. All right, we're going to take a commercial break on Freddie's rant. More to come. 888-994.
You make me rant. Why you make me rant for? What's the matter with you?
What's the first game of the season?
New York Jets against the Buffalo Bills, September 11th, 8 o'clock, baby, be there.
Aaron Rodgers.
And Aaron Rodgers. We'll be right back.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Todo Bello Balloons is a business that was born out of a passion for creating unique and beautiful balloon designs, including balloon bouquets, balloon arches, balloon columns, and more. We specialize in creating unique and beautiful balloon designs that bring your dreams into reality. We believe that balloons have the power to bring people together and create lasting memories, and we are honored to be part of that experience. Contact us and we will bring happiness to your celebrations with our balloons.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
feel so high, but now I'm low, low, low. A feeling I can't hide, and it drives me slow. But I won't let it take me down. I won't fade away. I'll never let it make me fade away to gray. I'll be holding on. I'll never let it go until the end of time. I won't fade away. I used to feel so young, but now I'm old, old, old. I couldn't be more wrong, thinking I'll stay as bold. And I won't let it take me down. Forever hold my ground. I won't fade away. I'll never let it make me fade away to gray. I'll be holding on. I'll never let it go until the end of time. I'll be holding on and on and on and on. Oh, I'll be holding on and on and on and on. I won't fade away. I keep holding on.
All good for today.
Now, back to the show. Here we are with our Brooklyn Cafe Show very own coffee. It's completely organic. We sell it here in the studio, so definitely come by, check us out, have a delicious cup of coffee with us, and we'll get back to you. Back to the show.
If you come on by and have a cup of coffee, you can hear our own Comizina today, right after the show. What time? 2:30?
2:30 today. Call in, write in any questions you have for the collective. There's always things that happen when Sally's around.
And I'm drinking the coffee.
There's no coincidence when Sally was around. I'm telling you, last Tuesday, it was just didn't stop. It was unbelievable here.
Well, it's funny because if those people from Sunscape come, you're going to have a full house.
Yeah, I was talking to the lady there for quite a while because she was looking at my art, but I did not realize. I saw she had a name on her, but I didn't realize it was from Sunscape.
I was
She
going to
said she
ask
was-
you, how did you like that whole event?
I loved it. I loved it. It was great. And I had about a half an hour, I would say, a conversation with her, and she was really interested in. I didn't realize that hopefully she's going to bring
They
some
were all
people today.
interested.
Yes, she loved my
They asked for
story.
the day off.
Beautiful. This will be amazing.
They're on site survey.
Okay.
Like, I don't think we can give you the whole day off, but if you get the site
I didn't even
survey
see
done-
you leave.
I left a
When
little
did you
early
leave?
because about 7:30, 20 to 8. I don't like driving at night
You were with
when
Laura.
it's dark.
Oh, I was doing
So
the show
I
with
left,
Laura.
yes.
Yeah,
But
I'm sorry I
was-
missed it, but I'm real thankful to you all for helping Sally the way you
No,
did.
we thank
I
her.
know, I
She was-
praised everybody. They were absolutely amazing.
It was a nice event.
Yeah.
I saw you eating with Lola in the back.
Yeah.
When they were making the speech.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, they didn't say that the artwork was for sale. I said, they did, but you guys were eating.
No, we didn't hear it. We were busy talking and eating the beautiful desserts. But I think many people had asked, is this for sale? And we said, yes. But
We have to start telling people that everything in here is for sale. Even my shoes.
will work for food.
That was the mouse, right?
That was the mouse. Will work for cheese. I'm back.
We'll use the mouse as, yes, everything's for sale. We'll change the sign. Oh, that could be
I
fun.
know. And we actually brought some of Mark Freeman's pieces because unfortunately he is not doing so well right now with his health. So we're going to see anything that we can do to help Mark and his beautiful wife Leslie out with. Jay came in with some sad news for me last week on that.
It's funny because all of the producers who are around Mark's
Yeah, even
works.
the piece behind you is Mark's. There's quite a few here.
Yeah. But it was a great event, nonetheless. The truck was parked in front, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, the radio station is here." It says, "Yeah, over there," but we didn't marquee the radio station part, which is something we have to learn.
I actually had quite a few people come up to me. They didn't know who I was, but they recognized my art from the social media sites. And they
Really?
said, "Oh my gosh, I've seen that art." So,
How about that?
yeah.
There were people talking about Sally, and they kept coming over to me and said, "Wait a minute, isn't that the alien lady?" I said, "She's
Oh,
been
no
called-
wonder they were looking at me
She's
strangely.
been called a few things.
Yeah,
And her
that's okay.
sidekick is Lola the alien.
She was there.
That's
You've
okay.
never seen her antenna come up out of her head.
Except for that night, I saw it almost. But we had a lot of fun. And you were right at the beginning with
Beautiful,
the,
yeah,
the calling card, and went to the
Lovely.
back, and JC was singing back there. There was like a lot of moving parts that day. So you
It
were
was
busy.
a great evening.
I was busy socializing.
I didn't even see you.
I know, because you were doing production and I was doing whatever I do at events.
I thought you were going to do the show with Laura. And I went in there. And I tell you, I switched things up on Laura's show. I hit her with a question that she didn't know how to answer. But, you know, when somebody, when you're a real estate person selling your house, and they're willing to give you X amount of dollars to help you sell your house, because they know they're going to sell your house, that speaks volumes. This is what Laura does. Laura says, listen, I'm going to give you X amount of money, no interest. I'm going to take the proceeds of the sale to pay me back. Who the hell does that? Nobody does that. So I said to her, are you that confident that you're going to sell it? She says, damn right. She told me, I'm going to sell it.
And she
that-
does.
And she does. And I'm going to tell you, she is the number 11 salesperson
In the country.
in the country.
With Remax, yeah.
11. If I had an extra finger, that would be her. Right? You know how big that is? That's huge.
She's good at what she does.
So she was a little humble that night on Thursday. But we had fun doing that.
She was cracking everybody up. You know, Laura,
She wants to do a stand-up.
only if Josh is here.
It was a lot of, the kids did really, really well with that.
But they did great. And then you got to see your daughter yesterday after
We did.
Lynn's
We
event.
did. That was a nice surprise. I didn't know that she was over on this side. She lives in Punta Gorda. And, you know, there were no coincidences. We were at a celebration of life. And turns out she was at a celebration of life as well over on this side from a high school chum.
I think we should do celebration of life when people are alive.
We tried that.
Because the
I
one
had
thing that
one.
upset me about Lynn's celebration of life, it was lovely, is that Lynn didn't know how much he was loved.
Oh,
until
wait
he
a minute.
passed.
Everybody knows
Wait-
now.
Wait a
That's
minute.
all right.
Hold it. When I did it here, you got mad at me.
But we should call
Wow.
it something else.
What did I call it? Celebration of life.
We should call it something else.
Oh,
Because
I'm
I-
sorry. What do you want to call it? Celebration of death?
No, we should just call it like a party.
We are celebrating
A
our life.
tribute.
How about just like a party to celebrate people?
Just add a few words like we are celebrating our life.
Okay.
Even a birthday
How long
party.
ago, we didn't know them, how long ago did we do mine in here?
Years before, right before COVID. It was 2020.
What did we
February
do?
2020. We did a whole mock celebration of life. It was your
With
son's
who?
birthday.
With who?
Dignity Memorial.
Dignity Memorial.
It was Freddie's birthday.
And Freddie came up with this idea. We were in Studio B, and the guy says, that's brilliant. So they did my celebration of life. So people from Miami thought I died. So people came up with flowers. You remember that?
Oh, I remember.
And they were screaming at me. Some people were
Because
so
they
upset.
walked in the door and you were
And
standing
I was still here.
Yeah.
You would have been great for my show. At that point, I could have sat you next to me.
That must be eerie, Freddie. My father's name was Herman Sperling, and he had a cousin, Herman Sperling, who passed away. He went to the funeral and heard his name being eulogized. That's freaky.
That's freaky. But I had, this wall was a celebration of my life, and my son's birthday was the same day. And he was really, really, really upset with me. I says, I'm going to cut a cake for you. No, Dad, this ain't cool. and now you want to do it. What
But I want to
changed?
call it because yesterday, you know, Lynn had a rough life, but he touched so many people's hearts, and he made such a positive difference for so many people's lives. And at the end of his days, and this isn't a secret, they all talked about it yesterday, all he wanted was to be loved and to be validated. And everyone that went, all these healers that went to visit him, do you finally feel loved? Yes. Do you want to stay? No. He was just done with this physical life. His angels told the other angels, if you believe in that. His spirit spoke to other spirits, if you believe in that, and said, don't heal me. I don't want to be here anymore in this lifetime. But his whole life, all he wanted was to feel accepted and loved.
But thinking back now, and the last that I actually, it was on a video broadcast because he wasn't coming into the cafe at that time. We did finish my book. We said it was the last chapter, but not only that, he actually said to me he was beginning to find so much closure. And I think when we do rewrite the book now and we do it, I think we need to put that, because he wanted some of his story in my book, which will be there. So just to say that he honestly did have, and he had mentioned to me, I've got closure, which is amazing. Not just did he finish my book on that same
I think
note.
he went in the hospital 2 days later.
Yes.
I think you met with him on a Friday, and I think that Sunday.
He was in hospital.
hospital.
Yes, that was right, because we did the video. I did it
Yeah.
through Skype because I didn't know how you or Zoom, and he did it, and it was a wonderful, wonderful Zoom. So there's no
I
coincidences.
wanted to hang his picture in the gallery. I mean, he used to come here. We've known Lynn 6 years. And you know, they always say, my mother used to always tell me, you don't have to celebrate anybody's life. You just have to celebrate them every day.
That's what I'm
A
saying.
simple hello. So let's get the picture, because I saw what you did for the frame, and we'll put it up. And we'll celebrate with Lynn for a week, a month, whatever you want. You know, because
Right,
he should be here anyway. This is where he was.
You know what happens? Everyone gets so busy in life that you don't see your friends, you don't go to parties, you don't do certain things. But when someone passes away, you clear your schedule and you go to the funeral.
Yeah, I'd also like a picture perhaps on my show too, because he was on my show many, many times, right? So that would be
Absolutely.
nice.
We can put it right back there.
A tribute to
We can
him
hang
for
it
the
up
whole
there, and every
month or
time we come in,
something.
and we do it for a month.
But I like your idea, Dawn, of celebrating the lives of the living. Let's do a roast.
So do I.
There was a program called This Is Your Life. I don't know if they ever had
I
it here,
remember
but
that.
it was over in England, and they bring people in, all the people from when they were.
Edwin R.
Bring
Murrow.
everyone in from your life.
I don't suggest I do that. A lot of them are past, unfortunately, too, so but
that
I bring
too.
them in. Yeah, this is your life.
Not an easy situation, but and we have a few friends of ours that aren't feeling well. Unfortunately, it does come in threes, as they say. So here we go. But you know what? Every day you have to remember the good stuff that people do.
You got to enjoy every day. And they talked about that. I guess it was one of his poems in one of his books. I'm going to pull it out. That today is the day that you celebrate today, because all you have is today.
That's
So-
why Sally and I are not waiting for tomorrow to live our lives today.
That's right. You keep
I
doing
know,
that cruise,
every
baby.
cruise they do,
Freaking cruise is gonna
everything.
end up killing you.
But and that was his poem. You live for today because today is given because you wake up. So you have today.
Tomorrow's not promised.
Right, tomorrow's not promised. And as cliche as that sounds, this is one of the poems that he wrote in one of his books that Louise read yesterday. But for Louise, my heart breaks for her because she finally found this other part of her soul from a past life. And there was nothing she could do to physically keep him here with her.
But Dawn, she found it, and that's what's so amazing. Even if it was just a year or 2 years, she did find. I feel that with Aldo, who passed too. I mean, yes, he passed also very suddenly, but the gift is that they gave you that, and they've gone on. But we also go on, and I don't believe that will ever die because we do meet up again. That's my belief. I don't expect everybody to understand that, but Louise has that memory of him, which is really, really important.
Yeah, and her sons were there, so they were really nice. They're going to be moving back to South Florida, so she's got that support, which is great.
I think it's important, you know, when you ask a certain question and the answers is delivered, and I think Louise learned a lot. I think it gave her an opportunity to answer a lot of questions about herself by meeting her and doing the show. I'll never forget the day she came in as a guest, and I said to him, "You got to put her
Co-host
on
with
that
you,
show
yeah.
with you." it's a better set. And that took a life of its own. So.
And I've gotten more friendly with her now than I whole time when Lynn was around. I think I've spoken to her far more, and I've got to know her.
I
She's a
think
lovely lady.
It's
She's a
lesson
lovely
learned,
lady.
as they say. Lesson learned. I remember we went to your wedding, and I got to sit with her.
That's right, yeah.
And Dawn kept saying, "Who is that?" I go, "I don't know. I think it's Louise."
Right.
And she was a whole different person.
Yeah, yeah. Lovely lady.
Yeah. I mean, you got to learn a little bit about yourself.
We got to learn from Sally and Steve because they had a lovely wedding. We were all there. We got to celebrate their lives and bring in all your blended family, your grandchildren and your daughter and your son was there and Mindy.
Yeah, Mindy. She's part of my family today, I think.
And the one
Yeah.
that, the
Mindy.
person that married you,
Ebony.
Ebony, which we met here, yes. Yeah.
Ebony actually just got a new job, I heard.
So you guys do it right. You celebrate life. You go on vacation. You go visit the kids.
Yep.
Not always for good things, but you make it as positive as you can.
Yep.
Yes, because, you know, I mean, everybody has sadness in their lives, and then if we can just enjoy, you know, it's cliche. We all say, let's enjoy, but we forget what we forget. And I think it's important, and hopefully my show does that a little bit of that too, to be more positive with life. I forget too. I'm human, and I don't always celebrate some of the things that I should. I always, and I'm the first one to be surprised when something strange happens. I'm going, and you tell me that too. How did that happen? And yet I talk about it all the time. So
Gary walks in. She's like, "How did that happen?"
yeah, and people say, "But this is what you talk about all the time." So
Sally says to me when something happens, "That's strange," and I say, "No, it's not."
You have the ability of learning what you're doing.
That's right.
And it's made a difference in your life.
Yes,
Same thing with him.
absolutely. And this lovely lady who just walked in, we only met through my show, right? And a beautiful dog, Bella. We're on the
Well,
on
you
the
tried
air,
to call.
so
We just couldn't get the phone working.
As soon as other people were calling in, as soon as I tried to call, I thought I had COVID. I was really sick, but I didn't. But as soon as I called, everything happened. It seemed like all the
Sandy, we're on the air, so everybody's going to know if you don't mind. Just to let you know, just a disclaimer, you didn't know, right? But that's great. I'm happy to see you here.
It's interesting.
We got to Sally work in the room,
Good stuff. All
but you
right.
got to celebrate. You got to do what you got to do.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
but you got to do it consistently. You know, I'm a firm believer that if you do something and you want the applause, then don't do it. If you do anything in life for somebody and you're waiting to say the applause or that, "Oh, look at you, you did it," whatever, don't do it. Don't do it.
Nope.
Be real to the cause. Be real because you're going to do something because you do it. It's interesting about you ask the question. If you have $1 million and you make a donation, do you want people to know you made the donation? Right?
Doesn't make a difference. For some people, it does,
But then why do it?
because some people they want to see their name on that donation card. For
Why?
others, I don't
What
know.
does that
How
do
many
for you?
people put anonymous? That's beautiful. You know, I just had to say that because so many people do that, right?
We talked about it this morning.
Oh, I
She
wasn't.
doesn't even know.
I
So
have
we-
no
I just
idea
said
that you
this
said that,
morning.
but I just got the word anonymous in my head. Okay. Yeah.
Sally and I do this all the time.
It's important.
They're talking.
It's important sometimes when you deliver the message that you do it for the right reasons. Otherwise, don't do it.
Yep.
If you do it for all the wrong reasons, then it really loses its impact.
So Dwayne Wade said yesterday, you do it for the right reasons. And he accepted that award with his dad. He's like, "Dad, I know you got a bad knee." He said, "But come on up here and let's do this Hall of Fame together."
D-Wade, Hall of Fame.
Right? Did you see it?
Just a clip.
And that's what it was all about. It was just that, always makes me think of you. It's just that act of giving back to all those years of him and his dad. And that was, "Dad, just come up here with me. Just, here's your cup of coffee. Do this."
It's true. You know, it's funny you say that because we talked about some singers that are Grammy Award winners. We got some singers that are on their way there. We got singers. And that's all we ever wanted was just a cup of coffee. I'm not looking to say I did anything because I didn't. It's really what they do. Same thing with Sally. Never forget the first day she said that she was an alien.
She didn't say she was an alien. She said she had been with them.
Yes.
I'm not. Well, I could be. I don't know. I haven't found that out yet.
She's been to planets unknown.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you watched a lot of what's going to be in the movie, right?
I
Tell me
did,
what I said.
I did not watch any of it, but let me tell you
Oh.
why. I'm still trying to figure out what we're doing.
Oh.
Because my delivery of this thing, I want
Okay.
it to be different from everybody else.
Okay.
So if we use Trippy to play you, there's something that I want to see in the movie.
Okay.
The impact of the movie sometimes has to be three-dimensional.
Right.
And it has to be real people. You know, when somebody cries in a movie, it's more impactful than having people say, I cried.
Okay.
So I'm trying to look for impact.
I'm actually sorry that you hadn't listened to it because you're still talking to me and I wasn't sure. I thought you'd listen
Not
to
yet.
the movie.
Not
It's
yet.
very strange.
Just because I didn't see it doesn't mean I don't know
I'm
what's
just
in it.
joking, yeah. I'm sorry.
She's a real wise guy, that one.
She did a great job.
Thank you.
She did a great job. We did about 3.5 hours of filming on Tuesday.
You know, we did, the guys did a piece here on a Friday night, which was 2 hours, 3 hours. And they put a camera on somebody that was doing a commercial for a company in Texas. And because they are who they are, they decided to bring and introduce 2 separate cameras. So instead of it being a 1 shot, they did a 3 shot. So when they sent over the footage to the company overseas and they were putting it together, they kept saying, what is this? We got the one complete and then we got all these other shots. What is this? So we did more than we said we were going to do to give them different angles because the eye doesn't want to keep looking at the same thing. You want to change the angle of what you're looking at.
We did that.
And we totally confused them.
We did 3. Somehow Zach found a way to put 3 cameras and record them at the same time without switching shots.
That's right. So what happened
So it was like
was
21 gigabytes in an hour.
On Sunday, I had Garcia talk to them overseas, and the guy goes, wow, you really did that? Wow. And then the guy called me, he says, you guys are amazing, because it changes the angle of what. Anybody seen the Fablemans?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
And you know, the Fablemans is about who?
Spielberg.
About his life, right?
Yeah.
He didn't remember his name.
Yes, I do. Shut up, you. So you remember the ending of the movie when he said to him, where's the horizon?
You were good with lines. He remembers everything.
It's at the bottom of the picture. Okay, look at this one. Where's the horizon? And it was at the top. Remember that? In the movie? At
Vaguely.
the end? At the end, he told him, where's the horizon, the top or the bottom? And he was taught that if you ever take a shot and you want to sell a movie, you move the horizon. You don't make it normal. And that stayed with him. And I remember that when the kids were doing this, all this stuff, they changed the angle of the show. That's why he said, wow, thank you. Because they didn't bargain for that. They didn't negotiate for that, but they got it. So The Fablemans to me is one of my favorite movies because of just that one episode.
Just that one clip. It's that
That's
one
it.
shot.
You got to find the best shot for the horizon. Which is the movie.
Talking about a lot of names today. You mentioned Steve Jobs earlier. Years ago, we had Steve Jobs, and we had Bob Hope, and we had Johnny Cash. Now we have no Jobs, no Hope, no Cash. Well, please God, don't let Kevin Bacon die.
Because then we have all bacon.
Where the world did you get that?
That's very good.
That was good. Can't beat that.
Boom.
Very
That
good.
is very good.
He'll
He's
never
stealing my
remember.
limelight.
This is not your show.
Oh, right, that's right.
He's going to do stand-up.
We're going to wrap this up. Get ready for Homie Zena for Sally Bernard at 2:30 today. Sandy's here. I think Gary's going to stay. Steve is here. Let's see who else comes in for
Let's
the
see who
afternoon.
pops in here.
Have a great afternoon, everyone. Happy Monday. If you don't feel well, stay home. Turn on the cafe because you can now find us on Amazon Fire Stick and Roku
I don't want to get into it.
and all over social media.
Oh, I thought you said Amazon Fire Stick and what else?
Roku.
Roku, R-O-K-U.
I never even heard of it.
All right. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. drive time.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.